From a family restaurant whose careless food handling led to a customer being hospitalized,
a guy had some lobster and he has a reaction to it. The gentleman, sit down.
to owners whose ego pushed Ramsey to walk out for the first time.
And the right thing for me is to get out of here. Good luck.
These are the dumbest mistakes ever made on Kitchen Nightmares. Dillons, a restaurant opened by Muhammad Islam, with the aim of giving his family a better life. But the place had an identity problem.
American Irish restaurant with an Indianness connected to it.
I think people are a bit confused as to what kind of restaurant this is.
And 3 different managers, Martin, Andrew, and Khan, who separately ran each part of the business, like general management, operational management, and floor management. Because of that, the restaurant was running at a loss, hoping to get help as soon as possible.
For the last 6 months, we are losing like $20,000 to $30,000 a month. I cannot continue losing money like this.
And only Chef Ramsey could help bring this restaurant out of its declining situation. So when Gordon arrived, he was met with a lot of unpleasant surprises, like flies flying around the restaurant. But worse than that, they made one of the dumbest mistakes Kitchen Nightmares had ever experienced. The first mistake happened when Gordon tasted a vegetarian dish that had meat in it.
There's meat in there. That one's got meat in there.
If he were a vegetarian, I would expect a lawsuit. It's gonna be fun to ask them about.
But that was just the beginning, because Ramsey later found out that his lamb biryani was garnished with rotten tomatoes, and pork was used instead of beef for his beef buna. What Gordon saw next explained exactly why this place was failing. After pointing out these mistakes, he looked into the kitchen and found it dirty and unsafe.
Oh my God. These were my potatoes for lunch. For God's sake! Look at that! Look! Cockroaches. Holy sh! Oh my God.
Looking at the kitchen's disgusting conditions, Ramsey had no other choice but to shut it down.
Ever again serving any of this food, I don't give a what anyone says. Can you go and tell them that the kitchen is closed?
He then renamed the restaurant, made many changes, including firing Martin, as he was one of the biggest problems the business faced. And when Gordon came back a year later to check up on them, the restaurant was doing better.
How's business been?
Every week we're getting more and more customers.
What's the restaurant turning a week now?
Somewhere around 18 to 20.
But this success only lasted for a short period of time, as Purnima closed its doors because of a lack of proper management in 2009, just 2 years after the episode aired. While Dillon's mistakes came from their chef's incompetence to take care of their cooking environment and serve appropriate meals, the next case's mistake was something never expected from a standard restaurant. Leela's was a struggling restaurant named after its owner, Leela Gillen, and from the start, the place was a complete mess, with chefs joking around instead of working.
We clown each other and we have fun while we're in here.
What the hell's in your ear, man?
This is 14 karat gold, baby. I mean, this is the real deal.
On the other hand, the staff members were fighting with each other all the time.
I'm the one having to take this guy's order and telling him, oh, we don't have this and we don't have that.
Don't blame that on us.
But along with that, a huge amount of debt was hanging over the business.
I owe my sister $60,000.
How much?
$3,700. I owe $64,000 for the line of credit.
And to get all of these sorted out, Ramsey's presence looked like their remedy. So by the time he arrived, he was shocked by the lack of basic ingredients for the food on their menu. And the poor kitchen hygiene was adding fuel to the fire, which made it clear why the restaurant was failing. This episode became one of the most dramatic in Kitchen Nightmares history when Gordon discovered that one of the staff members had been stealing food for a long period of time.
Where's Buzzard? Are they all gone? He's walking down the alley right now with his bag of goodies.
But they are not empty-handed.
And what have you got in there? Got a sandwich from earlier, some pasta that somebody ordered and didn't want.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about it.
Did you ask anyone for it?
No. You need to go talk to her and let her know.
Making the restaurant's money problems even worse.
This is Buzzard's little picnic. Nice little sandwich there. Ham, cheese, mustard. Here we are, with a restaurant that's financially screwed, and you're just helping yourself.
To amend a couple of things and help the chefs improve, Gordon set up a blind taste test. And this moment turned into one of the dumbest mistakes on the show, as he asked Chef Ricky and Chef Lex to tell the difference between several cuts of meat.
Legs.
Tastes like chicken.
You're right, Ricky. You're wrong. That was chicken.
You're gonna mistake chicken for beef. That just blew me out of the water.
And this moment turned into one of the dumbest mistakes on the show, as he asked Chef Ricky and Chef Lex to tell the difference between several cuts of meat.
What was that?
It was beef.
Legs.
Tastes like chicken.
You're right.
Ricky failed badly while Lex did fairly well. This mistake caused Ricky to be demoted from head chef.
I think we should have a switch round. Yes? Leela, I just found you a new head chef.
Unfortunately, for the restaurant's overall well-being after the show aired, they still had a very low 1.4-star rating on Yelp, eventually closing its doors not long after because the debt became too much to handle. While Chef Ricky's mistake at Leela's was embarrassing but harmless, the next restaurant on this list made a mistake so severe that it nearly cost someone their life. Mama Maria's was once a successful family-run restaurant, but after the founders passed away, the business was handed over to their son, John Esposito. Under his care, the place began to slide into trouble.
We don't have that kind of volume of sales that we once had, and I can't figure out the reason why it dropped off.
The signs of decline were easy to see as the decor looked worn out.
Spaghetti doesn't taste quite right.
I don't know what to tell you. It's a fresh tomato sauce.
The kitchen leaned on a lot of frozen food.
And it shot out twice as quick as it went in. Laurie, something's wrong big time.
And even worse, the menu stayed stuck in the past instead of using fresh ingredients. However, with everything unraveling, things became really obvious during dinner service, when two huge mistakes happened right in front of Gordon Ramsay. First, a customer who ordered a vegetarian dish found a bone in it.
I found a bone in my sauce.
What's that?
A bone.
A bone.
I'm a vegetarian. Who's inside the sauce?
And just minutes later, things got even worse. Another customer was served a rotten lobster tail and felt terribly sick.
And the lobster, he said, tasted funny. And next thing I knew, he was sick.
This single careless mistake took the situation to serious levels, that the customer had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance.
A guy had some lobster, and he has a reaction to it. The gentleman, sit down.
Making Gordon Ramsay shut down the restaurant immediately.
So, when I shut it down, I just kick everybody out?
Just apologise, no check, deeply sorry, and we have an issue that I have to deal with. My apologies.
After this incident, John had an honest talk with Gordon Ramsay.
I need to take a break.
He turned things around and everything began to go well for the restaurant. Mama Maria's made an amazing comeback and became one of the biggest success stories in kitchen nightmares, irrespective of their previous mistakes. And this was because John adhered to Gordon's helpful changes. And with this, they stayed open for 10 more years, earning a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars on Yelp. And customer reviews like, "The food and drink are fantastic. I especially like the seafood. I've never had salmon cooked so good." However, the restaurant closed in 2023, only because John decided it was time to retire. And just like how Mama Maria's food mistakes with their customers' diet and health almost ended someone's life, Capri also made mistakes that seriously affected them. The identical twins, Jim and Jeff Thiel, bought Capri's because they loved the restaurant and wanted to get free pizzas.
We used to come here all the time, and we loved the place, so we said, we'll buy it.
The feeling was, it's like, dude, free pizza? All right.
Although they had passion, they didn't have the knowledge or experience needed because they were too childish to run a successful place.
Oh, I should know how you do the chicken fillet.
They're just doing what they know.
And these childish mistakes made the restaurant struggle.
But the financial situation hit the pooper. We're broke.
The mistakes grew worse and even became life-threatening when Gordon Ramsay discovered a huge error when one of the twins defrosted frozen food using a steam table instead of the natural way.
Jeff.
Yeah.
The chicken tenders. What did you do to them to defrost them?
I put it on the steam table.
You defrosted them in the steam table from frozen.
Yeah.
And when he confronted them, Jim got very defensive, which led to a heated argument.
We can't serve them. You'll kill somebody.
I'm not gonna get yelled
You're
at.
walking around like a big baby, and I'm just asking you to grow up a little bit.
This nasty attitude got the viewers so upset that one of them said, These boys seem like they have certain mental health issues, depression, anxiety, potentially PTSD, potentially autism, or a potential intellectual disability. However, that did not stop Capri from getting the help it needed.
We have brought the Capri from 1963, fast forward it, transformed it to 2011.
It's beautiful.
And when Gordon revisited the restaurant, it was doing much better.
The new food and decor have made Capri a hotspot in Eagle Rock.
Sadly, despite performing well, the restaurant would eventually close down in 2019 because of declining sales and health issues. While the twins made childish mistakes, they were able to bounce back after Gordon's guidance. But the next restaurant owner made an unbelievable mistake just to save her business. In Season 2 of Kitchen Nightmares, Chef Gordon Ramsay visited a cozy restaurant named Mama Cherri's Soul Food Shack, owned by Cherri Jones, who everyone called Mama Cherri. Although the restaurant stayed open 7 days a week, it was having a tough time making enough money.
Customers just aren't biting.
1:10 Saturday lunchtime, and this place should be absolutely rammed.
But soon Ramsay came to the rescue, and when he arrived, the restaurant was quite lovable.
It's cozy.
I'll say. It's like walking into your front lounge.
Thank you.
And unlike many other Kitchen Nightmares restaurants, he enjoyed the food.
It's actually quite nice. Very delicate fish, and it's nicely fried. Very light.
Which made it easier to see the real problem. In all these good reports, the dumbest mistake was that Mama Jones had listened to her bank manager and set the menu prices too high, which kept customers away.
Always the bank manager's solution.
Yeah,
Put your prices up.
It was literally down to the bank manager.
Yeah. Well, he's an arsehole.
Gordon helped her make smart changes by adjusting prices and rearranging the menu. And when Gordon Ramsay revisited the restaurant 2 months later, it was doing pretty well. Sadly, due to financial problems, the restaurant closed in 2009, about 4 years after the episode aired. However, while Mama Cherri's dumbest mistake was listening to her bank manager, which badly affected her business, the next restaurant allowed arrogance to hinder their growth. As someone who had once run a successful catering business, Shelley felt like a complete failure when she could not turn Blackberries into a strong restaurant.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
The shrimp was firm.
Perfect location, perfect food, but where are my customers?
And this started happening because she was often arrogant and refused to accept when she was wrong.
Shelley believes that all of her food is better than any chef out there.
Too done? Too done is perfect. It being my restaurant, I'm gonna have it my way.
This obviously caused the restaurant to struggle and left her deep in debt. Now, to help elevate the restaurant, Ramsay visited. But the worst happened the moment he found a dead mouse at the restaurant's entrance. And instead of taking responsibility, Shelley and her general manager made the dumb mistake of accusing Chef Ramsay of planting the mouse for the sake of the show.
Walked in there, saw him, bang, right there.
Right here. Do you have it on film?
Are you kidding me? What, you thought I brought it in out of my pocket? I walked in the front door, a mouse.
The mouse that you planted, I know. They told me.
They kept insisting Gordon, the person who came there to help them, was lying, which almost made him walk out.
Take your restaurant and stick it. I am gone. I'm out of here.
Please don't leave.
Yeah, no, I'm out of here.
Please don't.
Because you're
leave.
exaggerating.
But then the situation was only saved when Shelley's mother stepped in, even though the manager finally admitted the truth.
Can I talk to you, just me and you?
Yeah.
I take back what I said as far as you doing something like that. I don't want to defame your character.
However, Shelley's bad attitude did not change even after the cameras left. And this was evident with the negative reviews on Yelp, complaining about her rude behavior, with one customer saying that the owners had a bad attitude. She yelled at her staff in the kitchen, and you could hear it in dining. The combination of heavy debt and these ongoing complaints hurt the business too much, as Blackberries finally closed its doors in 2013, just a year and a half after the episode aired. Unlike Shelley, who made the mistake of falsely accusing Gordon Ramsay, which brutally affected their progress, the next owner's mistake was something that initially seemed like a fun challenge to overcome. The Prohibition Grill was opened by a former belly dancer, Rishi Brown, who believed her success on the dance stage would help her run a restaurant even though she had never worked in one before, and that turned out to be her dumbest mistake. Aside from that, she also made another mistake of trusting Chef Rocky to handle the dishes while she danced for the customers. But the problems didn't just end with her dance performances. The food itself was not up to the mark, and despite numerous complaints by customers and staff, Rishi kept believing in her head chef Rocky. And when Gordon Ramsay tasted their dishes, he had nothing nice to say about them.
Did you have a chance to taste the soup?
Yeah, I had a chance. Yeah.
Okay,
and? Yeah, just not nice.
How are the oysters?
Yeah, they're bland. They just taste of nothing.
However, the worst thing happened when Gordon had to hide himself in the freezer so he wouldn't witness the belly dancing show. And that was when it became obvious to Ramsay that Chef Rocky isn't taking care of the restaurant because the owner was more focused on belly dancing rather than taking strategic moves that would elevate the restaurant. Eventually, Rishi admitted that she was scared of change, especially the idea of letting Rocky go. But then she just had to do as Gordon directed her, as he promised to help her out.
I will do all I can to find you a chef.
Thank you.
After making necessary changes, everything got much better. And when Gordon came back to check on them, the restaurant seemed like it was running smoothly. However, that didn't last long, as the restaurant continued to sink in review pages with just 2.5-star ratings on Yelp after the show aired in 2013. It had stayed open for many years until Rishi sold the restaurant in 2016 to a new owner. And just like Rishi, whose mistake of focusing on her belly dancing instead of focusing on her restaurant cost her business, the next restaurant's mistake would have been so avoidable if only they had listened to Gordon Ramsay. Amy's Baking Company appeared on Kitchen Nightmares and became the most unforgettable establishment in the show's history for all the wrong reasons. The restaurant was owned by Amy and Sam Buzaglo, as Amy loved baking and cared a lot about her food.
It was at a very early age that I discovered I had a real, true passion and talent for anything having to do with the culinary arts.
But that strong feeling turned her into thinking she was always right and didn't need anyone's opinion.
If anyone tell me that my wife's food is no good, I just tell him to leave the restaurant. I don't want him and don't come back. Is your first time?
Last time.
And last time, don't come back, madam.
Amy and Sammy's stubbornness grew into anger.
Amy's nuts.
I am going to really hurt somebody if they send back my cake.
As they often yelled at any customer who disagreed with them.
Keep walking, mister. You just keep walking.
Chef Ramsay is coming to tell the people how the food is good here. You can go, madam. Don't come back, madam. I'll be happy not to see you here. Thank you.
Which is an extremely dumb mistake, because that's the worst way a restaurant could treat its customers. Things got so bad that even Gordon Ramsay, who's used to tough situations, couldn't handle it anymore.
I'm not going to butt heads, argue, scream, whatever you want to say.
For the first time ever on his show, Gordon decided to walk away and leave the restaurant.
You have the right to run the business the way you want to run your business. And the right thing for me is to get out of here. Good luck.
Even after the episode aired, things became even worse for Amy's Baking Company. Instead of learning from what happened, Amy and Sammy kept being mean. They went online and attacked people who left bad reviews or criticized them. In one post, she called them little punks and fools. The restaurant already had lots of terrible reviews on Yelp, which led to the eventual closing of it in 2015. And this type of bad ending happened because they repeatedly made the mistake of putting their ego first before the customer's needs and Ramsay's revival advice.